with me, everybody. Nice job. All right, something's playing in the background. Let me check. I may have. Wait, do I have YouTube open somewhere? Because I can hear myself. All right, I'm gonna turn. How's that? I think I just turned off Instagram. It was playing in my ear and I could hear myself. So, hey, everybody, that's never happened before. My name is Lauren, otherwise known as Mrs. Tomato Head, and welcome to my Thursday live show, Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce, where I talk about all things tomatoes. And today we've got a couple peppers also. And it's an interactive broadcast. If you've never been here before, welcome. Drop a comment and let us say hi to you and welcome you. Ooh, my tomatoes kind of looking yellow in the background. I wonder why that is. It's got a dimmer. Is it too bright? We'll just there we go. Yeah, we're not off to a good start today, but I'm so happy to be here with you all. Did not do a show last Thursday because we had Jen, Joy, and I had an event last Friday. Actually, we all had an event for those in the group Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap on Facebook. Please join us if you're not a member. Or if you, even if you don't, you're not a member and you're a tomato head like us, everybody was invited to Carlisle, Pennsylvania. We had our very first tomato tasting and seed swap in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. We had a great time. So I was very ambitious last week, thinking that I could still do the Thursday show and be ready for Carlisle on Friday. And I kind of knew that was going to happen. So I did not do a show last Thursday. So it's been 2 weeks since we've done this show. And in those 2 weeks, there were some things that I wanted to taste with you guys that are no longer tasteable. Kina was one of them, and Lauren was another one. These tomatoes that were named after us. We had tasted Jennifer the week before, but Kina and Lauren are now off into the sauce heavens and seed heavens. I mean, I got to taste them, but I just didn't get to taste them live with you guys. I have a couple things to taste today. Things are not looking, well, they're looking good. And I've talked about this before, especially recently, that this time of year for me is probably similar to where you are when it's your end of season. Tomatoes are still coming in hard and fast. They just don't taste the same. They kind of all, well, they don't taste the same as they did in the season. They'd start to kind of taste the same, very little sweetness. You know, disease takes over. When foliage goes by the wayside, so does flavor and sweetness. And then things just kind of rot on the counter really, really fast. So shelf life is almost non-existent. So I'm working like a mad woman, even more than in the regular season, because I hate wasting tomatoes. So I'm making a lot of sauce and salsa, still saving seeds, even though I've got more than I probably will ever need. But we did give a lot of seeds away last Friday. If you were able to come to Carlisle, I gave a lot of seeds away. And I hope for those of you that were able to come, thank you so much. People came from Aquilia, came from Syracuse, New York. We had Tim and Darylyn from Inspired Garden Life, who are sponsoring this show today, as a matter of fact. They came all the way from Missouri. We had someone from Indiana, down south, I think Atlanta. So people really came from all over. And it's very moving. I was talking with Aquilia earlier, just chatting with her just about this tomato family that we've created, I guess. These Thursdays are really special to me. And I think many of you feel the same. It's just a way to come for an hour, really more like 2, but just to come and forget your troubles for a while and talk about something that we're all passionate about, which is tomatoes. So thanks to all of you who came. And of course, thank you to my precious partner in crime, Jen. Anything I do with Jen is fun. And it sure was. We did a brief live broadcast from Carlisle that worked out pretty well. I think we did about half an hour. We tasted a tomato that I'm going to talk about today, and rave about today. So I'm warning you now. I'm ready to get ready to gush. If you were there or you watched the show, you know which one it is probably, but I want to make sure more people know about it. So I'll be talking about that soon. So Carlisle was a lot of fun. We definitely have ideas for next year. We will do it a month earlier for sure, because not many people had tomatoes. I had tomatoes. I know Akeelia brought a bunch of tomatoes. A few people were able to bring a couple cherries and all of that, but they just, every time somebody tasted something that I brought, I'm like, but that's not really what it tastes like. Like in the regular season, that one's really good. So it's kind of like, well, what's the point? So we will definitely do August next year, and we will pick the date sooner than later so people can start planning. We hope to have many more of you join. We had Ken from Forgotten Heirlooms. He was selling seeds there. We had Sean and his son Lucas from Bounty Hunter Seeds. They were able to come last minute and sell their seeds. Tim and Darylyn, of course, from Inspired Garden Life, they've created this 3-week travel extravaganza, which they're sharing with us in the group, and they made us a stop, and it was really amazing meeting them. By the way, if you've never watched before, the first Thursday of the month, they sponsor this show. And what that means is basically they give away the prizes. I give away prizes every episode. So it is the first Thursday of the month, which I kind of forgot until yesterday. So they are once again giving away 5 free t-shirts and 3 gift cards. All you have to do to win is type in #tomato in the comments, and only once you need to do it. And at the end of the episode, we will do the drawings for those. Tim and Darylyn, thank you so much. I'm wearing one of their new shirts today. They have their new, what is it called? Oh, I didn't write it down here. They have a new faith-based line. This is one I got. I loved the color, and I loved it. I loved the green with the pink. So this one's Rooted in Love. Let me get up their slides. I have a slideshow of theirs that they created for us. Sacred Garden Collection is what they call it. Sacred Garden Collection. They've got, as if their varieties couldn't, or their shirts couldn't get more beautiful, they've done it again. They now ship to Canada, the UK, and Ireland, 26 countries in the EU, Australia, and New Zealand. So that was new, I think, as of last month. Sacred Garden Collections. From Rooted in Faith to Fruits of the Spirit, our Sacred Garden Collections trace the path of spiritual growth for those who know the strongest lives are sown in silence and tended in grace. They have a way with words, don't they? So their TLC Fall Harvest Savings. Buy 2 shirts, get 5% off. Buy 4, get 10% off. Buy 6, get 15% off. But the best deal is their forever coupon code for us, which is TLC20, and you get 20% off of everything. So if you'd like to check them out, they're at inspiredgardenlife.com. And again, they are giving away 5 shirts and 3 gift cards at the end of the episode. So thank you again to them. Here they are, cute as can be. And the gift cards are $25 each. It was so amazing meeting them in person. I feel like I've known them forever. And I think those of you who were there would agree. We feel like we've known them for such a long time. They've become friends. And it was all just from me reaching out to them after seeing one of their tomato shirts last year. Maybe it was even earlier this year. I think it may have been earlier this year. Telling them about the group, and I'm like, maybe we have a coupon code or something, and now we've become lifelong friends. And so I appreciate them giving the prizes once a month. So that's Tim and Darylyn. Let's see. Having some mouse problems here. Let's see who's here. I tend to get behind in the comments, not unusual, but I did happen to peek earlier and saw that our number one almost every week, Sherman, is here from a couple hours ago. Happy Thursday. Hello, Lauren. It's a beautiful day here in northern New Jersey. It is here in central New Jersey also. The Carlisle meetup was so fun, hoping it will continue to grow each time. Welcome, fellow tomato heads. It really was great. We had a great crowd. We also do in May at the same place in Carlisle, we do a plant swap. So we'll let you know the date of that sooner than later too. Jen and I will pick dates. And it was a great way for many of us to swap seedlings. You know, you start seeds and maybe you're like me and you start 2 seeds just in case one doesn't germinate, or maybe you start 4 because you really, really want that one, and then you've got 3 extras. So it's a great way to share with others who will really appreciate it. I've got plenty of people around me that I give plants to, but not all of them really appreciate like some of the super rare ones. They just want red, and there's some good red ones, but I would much rather give them to people who appreciate them. So maybe you can come to one or the other. They're both great events. And it really was a ton of fun on Friday. I was exhausted. I wasn't feeling so great for a couple days after that, but totally worth it. Hey, Harley the Swamp Bitch. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Hi, Deborah from Down Under. Good morning to you. And Nicole is here. I try to get to as many comments as possible. I am, as usual, ambitious with what I want to talk about this week, but a couple of them are peppers. And while I like peppers, and there's one, well, I was going to say there's one in here I really love. I don't know as much about peppers. And the one I really, really love, I know nothing about. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. Nice to see you, Nicole. Hi, Leslie. Happy Thursday to you. And Heidi's here. We missed you, Heidi. Hopefully you can come next year. Keena's here. Keena, do you know what I'm eating right now? Keena sent Jen and I early Christmas gifts. I got mine a couple days ago. Jen got hers today. And I don't even know what to say about them. It's full of all kinds of goodies and journals and stuff that was just specifically catered to both Jen and myself. She even went so far as to make sure the candy was vegan. And it's quite a few things that are vegan, which is so thoughtful. These are really good, Keena. Thank you. Glad you're here. And there's my other partner. Can't wait to hear about all the awesome sauce tomatoes today. I love you, my sweet friend Lauren. I hope you're doing better today. Thank you. I am doing better today, as I'm going back to the doctor tomorrow. Because, excuse me, a little chewy. I finished my antibiotics for the Lyme disease yesterday, and not much seems to have changed, so I'm just going to get checked out tomorrow. Tomorrow, speaking of tomorrow, I forgot to put the graphic up. Can I do this? Tomorrow, Jen and I have our October Tomato Talk Live with Bill Yoder. Hang on, can I do this? Let's see if I can just add. I have a graphic. No, I guess I didn't upload it here. Shoot. Well, we're really excited to welcome back Bill Yoder. He's rockstar tomato breeder is what I call him. He's responsible for a ton of stuff I've grown the past 2 years, and probably you guys too. He started with the Prince collection, and then Depeche Mode, and now he's got The Cure. What else? He released something from The Police the other day. He's got a whole, what am I forgetting about? The Cure, Tears for Fears, I think. I forget. But his varieties are like artwork. They're truly artwork. And he's a really nice guy. We've become quite friendly over the years. So we've been wanting to have him back, and things. He's got some health issues also with chronic pain. So we're really, really happy. So that's tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So a bit later than this. It will be recorded for those of you in Europe who can't watch the live. But he's going to be talking about greenhouse growing, which I know nothing about. He's going to be talking about all kinds of tomato things, of course, and he'll be on hand to answer any of your questions and comments. He'll be with us for the entire 90 minutes. But yeah, we thought we would talk about greenhouse growing. That's a topic we've never talked about before. So super excited to have him. So make sure you set your alarm. Hopefully you can watch us live. What else? Oh, and we've got Micropalooza in the group. So again, our group is called Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. If you're on Facebook, if you're not, join Facebook just to be a member of our group. I promise you, you will love it. We appeal to beginner growers and those who've been growing for a long time. We're all about education, sharing stories about varieties, sharing seeds, of course. We've got resource sheets on various breeders and various types of tomatoes. and no question is a stupid one, and we allow zero drama. We just started yesterday our third annual Micropalooza. And what that is not really anything to sign up for, but for those who are interested, we start our seeds from micro dwarfs that we will grow indoors. But there's some people like Deborah and people in Australia on that side of the world, their real season is kicking up now, their main season. So, but for many of us, it's the off season. So we did it the first year we started November 1st. We decided it was a little too late. Last year we did September 1st. We decided that was a little too early. So this year we decided October 1st. So, and if you missed the date, there's really no date to start. You just can't start before October 1st. So there's plenty of time. Jen can't start for another couple weeks, she said, and that's totally fine. And then once a week on Fridays, I post up like a progress post, and everybody can post pictures of their micros. And in the meantime, we get the joy of tomato growing in the off season. It's really a lot of fun. I wanted to show you one of my varieties called Creamsicle Mini, which I've posted about before. This is an F3, and I'm letting my F3 plant die out now because I just started yesterday the F4 seeds. But this has been going a long time. Aren't these pretty? The plant's not pretty anymore because I'm letting it die. Aren't those pretty? And they're very, very tasty. The Brix, as you see in this graphic, is an 8.3, but then I tasted it again, or tasted and tested yesterday, and it was an 8.8, which is a really, really good Brix for a micro dwarf. So I'm super excited about that. And I've started the F4. I actually gave a couple seeds away to people that, well, Mary, and I think I gave some to you, Jen. I'm not ready to give them out yet. It's still way too early, but a couple people expressed interest. So I'm really excited about the way this is going. I hope the F4 is as good. But you can start any micro or mini dwarf. If you're in the group, we have a resource sheet for micros and minis that can help you to decide what size, what you can handle growing indoors. Sometimes it's like, 24 inches, I can handle that. Well, 24 inches inside, that's very, very tall. So you may be more, and some people you can grow in hydroponics, in soil, and cracky, however you want. But I hope you join us for Micropalooza. All right, let's get back to some more comments here. Tara Dove's here. Hi, Tara Dove. Oh, I'm like 20 minutes behind here. Here's Akeelia. I fully recovered from the Carlisle meetup and ready to hear about some tomatoes. Now, you put a lot of work into it. Thank you for all the work. She brought tomatoes all the way from Syracuse, New York, and wonderful prizes. And thanks to all of you who donated prizes. So many of you did, and it was just amazing, as well as the donations too. Thank you. Hey, Susan. Nice to see you. Hey, Angwei's here. Going to be talking about you in a minute. Angwei Es, also known in the tomato world as Phil Seneca. He's joined our group the past couple weeks, and I'm going to be talking that variety that we tasted last Friday happens to be the Angwei Es tomato. And wait till I tell you, those of you that were there, so a few of you got to taste it, but I only had one tomato. It's extraordinary. And so I was able to get seeds of his and some experimental crosses of his back in the spring. I was telling him this today that I had my grow list all taken care of. And then as soon as I thought he was just sending like one or two varieties, he sent a bunch and all these great crosses. So I got rid of all those because I'm like, I am growing all of these. And so it's just been a real pleasure and getting to know him. I'm so happy to have him back in the tomato world. You may know him from Good Mind Seeds, which is, I use it a lot for resources when I'm talking about his varieties. It is not open for business yet. He's talking about maybe doing it again at some point, but right now he's not selling anything. But it's nice to have you back in the tomato world. I'm glad you're feeling better, Angwei, and happy to have you here with us. Hey, Robin. Nice to see you. And Lucas Wallman, another talented breeder from Austria. I'm going to be talking about some of your varieties today too, my friend. Hi, Linda. Thanks for being here. And Pretty. Hi, Lauren. Hi, tomato friends. Super excited to hear about some yummy tomatoes. So because my end of season's approaching and there's no frost on the horizon in the next 10 days for me, but those of you may have followed, so I became obsessed with Japanese tomatoes after tasting a variety early in the season called Misora, Misora, which is in my top 5 of all time. I will tell you that. And I can't stop talking about it. And I gave a bunch of seeds away, and I have many of you that I owe seeds to. And believe me, I've got notebooks upon notebooks. I will get to you, even if it's only 3 seeds, but I will definitely get to you because you need to grow this. But so I became with Japanese varieties, and I think the next show after that, I featured a bunch of Japanese varieties, and there's one, a hybrid called Reika, Reika, and it's, I think, impossible to find seeds. But some greenhouses do sell the plants. And so Pretty here, my friend in California, drove an hour each way to a greenhouse that had the plants. And she mailed me one. Reika is supposed to be the cream of the crop of these Japanese tomatoes. She said she tasted hers and it wasn't great. But I've got 3 good sized ones on my plant, and I wasn't willing to risk it letting it ripen on the plant. So I cut off one of the clusters and I brought it inside knowing it will ripen. And I did take cuttings from it so I can hopefully continue it through the winter and then grow it again in the spring. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but what a wonderful gift. You guys shower me with seeds and kindness and gifts. It's one of the reasons why I think we all feel like family. I'm sure I speak for all of you. We really, everybody is so generous in our group, and I appreciate that. So thank you, Pretty. Hey, Mary. Mary's got Creamsicle Mini. I'm very, very happy. Mary and I are microdwarf buddies, and I know if anybody will grow it and appreciate it, it is hers, and I hope it's good for you. Hi, Olivia. Nice to see you. And Lisa's here. Hi, everybody. Don't forget to type in #tomato. Inspired Garden Life is giving away 5 free t-shirts to 5 lucky viewers and 3 $25 gift cards. And they've got so much to choose from now. It used to be kind of easy. I would just go through all the tomatoes and all the tomato shirts. Now they've got a pepper line and they've got this faith-based line, and one design is prettier than the next. The shirts, those of you that have them, and I know it's many of you, they wash up beautifully, still very vibrant, and they're nice and soft. Hi, Mayor from afar. Nice to see you. And Justin. Hey, Justin. Justin, I shared this 2 weeks ago. We were talking about a variety that had only been sold in Australia called Big Malacca. Huge fruits. I'm still getting a couple. And so Justin mailed me, I put a post in the group saying about how much I liked it for a big variety. It's not one of like my knock your socks off great taste, but for sometimes those ginormous varieties, I feel have very little flavor. This one did. So Justin expressed interest in sending Big Malacca seeds for some winners. I gave some away 2 weeks ago, and then next week I'll be able to give away. I know Claudia just sent me some things to give away also. And then I've got some seeds that were donated from Carlisle that people donated. So thank you, everybody. It really is special, all that you give. So good morning, Justin. Hey, Greg, nice to see you. And Terry. Hey, Terry, nice to see you, my friend. And Malachite Jen is here. Happy Awesome Sauce Day, all. We're getting rain for the first day in forever. I'm really glad for you. We need it desperately. I grow a second crop of potatoes. I like growing potatoes too. Rob and I eat a lot of potatoes, and there's really just nothing like a homegrown potato. Sounds crazy, but it really is true. They're so sweet. So I pick early producing varieties. We start them in like April, I guess. Yeah, I think it's April. And I harvested those, oh gosh, 2 months or so ago. And then I get in another harvest. I put in more so I can get a second harvest before, the ground starts freezing. They're not as big. but I still get some potatoes. So, but I was looking at them today and they haven't had rain in a while, so I really need to water them. Hey, Drew, heat wave in the Midwest. Tomatoes on the vine are happy. That's good. That's good. We're having very bipolar weather. We're having hot one day and chilly the next. The nights are getting chilly, which is like the kiss of death for tomatoes. So I think over this weekend, we actually have a weekend with nothing planned. I'm going to go through and just maybe take everything off the plants or just about everything. And I've jarred so much sauce, but maybe make more salsa. And then there's a couple recipes I want to try. There's a green tomato relish that I found in a preserving book, and maybe pickled green tomato, something like that. These are recipes I've been wanting to try forever, and I haven't. So I'm bound and determined to do it this year. Thank you, Achillia. If everybody can like this video, and if you don't subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it very much. Hey, Jamie. So glad to be here with you. Glad to have you. No class yet? Oh, and here's Jeffrey. You're my number 5 announcement I have on here. I talked about Carlisle, talked about my t-shirt. I talked about Tomato Talk Live tomorrow with Bill Yoder. I talked about Micropalooza. And last but not least, and I'm glad you reminded me, I put a post in the group yesterday congratulating Jeffrey. So Terry from Secret Seed Cartel, which is based in France, she was finding it difficult with the new laws and shipping to the United States to run her business because most of her customers, she said, are in the United States. So she expressed interest in selling the business, and it's one of my favorite vendors of all time. I talk about them all the time. I really love the way they curate and sell only the varieties they really love, and I love their explanation of the varieties as well as their pictures. And so our friend Jeffrey, who owns Briar St. Seeds, he purchased it. So while I'm very grateful and thankful to Terry, and I know many of you guys are too, she's given us over the past 13 years, she's been a great seed steward and vendor. Really, really happy to see Jeffrey Rainmaker taking over the reins. You can go to secretseedcartel.com. He's got the new website up and running, ready to take sales. For now, Briar St. Seeds and Secret Seed Cartel will remain separate websites. For now, Briar St. Seeds is everything Jeffrey grew, and Secret Seed Cartel is everything that Terry has grown. So I will be doing, I want to place an order so I can do an unboxing from them sometime at the end of the month, perhaps. But thank you, Jeffrey, and congratulations. Really, really happy that it will continue on, and I know you'll do a great job with it. Hey, Angwei, nice to see you. I'm glad you joined us today. I'm talking about more than I told you about of yours today, showing a couple things too. Terry says rain here also, maybe snow for the weekend, not ready. All right, I'm going to skip ahead and just get people I haven't talked to yet because I'm already half an hour behind in the comments. Hi, Jerry. Nice to see you. Dana. Hello, everyone. Have an awesome day. You too. Any day with tomatoes and talking with you guys is an awesome day. Blah Blah's here. Hey, Blah Blah. And Dennis, who's Heidi's husband. Hi, Dennis. Nice to see you, my friend. Hi, Missy. Love the shirt, Lauren. Thank you. Me too, Missy. Really like this one. And Chantel's here. Hi, Chantel. Hi, everyone. Hey, Lauren. And Idaho Garden Girl's here. Hey there. Nice to see you. Heidi and Dennis are sending love through their comments. That's cute. And Rowena's here. Hey, Rowena. Nice to see you, my friend. Yeah, this is nice. It was going back to Carlisle. It was so awesome. Y'all brought me to tears. I love you all. True story. True story. Jen and I said a couple words towards the end of the event, and it was meaningful. Both of us have had kind of a challenging year, Jen in particular, and being brought together in that capacity and just seeing smiling faces and seeing people. This is the best. So I'm cutting up tomatoes and some peppers. I'm cutting up tomatoes. Rob was there. He was watching. I'm cutting up tomatoes. There's people there scooping the seeds and putting it into napkins. which I thought that's perfectly normal. And I see Rob chuckling like, oh, okay, so they are all like you. It was so cute. So cute. I know tomato cut pepper was a big one, but it was so adorable. But it just speaks to we are the same when you are a tomato head through and through or a tomato head in training. We will get you. I promise you, we will get you because it's fun. Now I'm going to cry. It's fun. And, life is so hard and times can be challenging. But if we can escape into something so beautiful, we're giving something new life with these great stories like Angwe ES's varieties have these amazing stories that I'll talk about in a minute. It's so beautiful. Every seed, this is really geeky, I know, but every seed equals hope. One little seed, what that can provide, the amount of food, the amount of joy, the amount of, nirvana when it comes to tasting tomatoes. It's very emotional. And then seeing everybody come from such a far time away, being so generous with donations and all of that. It really was a beautiful day. I hope for those of you that haven't been able to come, I hope you can make a trip out of it next time. All right, who else do we have here? The amount of seed varieties all in one place was so awesome sauce. Yeah, and Bounty Hunter and Forgotten Heirlooms, they brought it. I didn't even get a chance to look much. It was just amazing. So Sean and Ken, if you are watching, thank you for coming. And again, of course, Tim and Darylyn from Inspired Garden Life, Above and Beyond. They gave us, you'll see in a picture in a minute, anybody that wore their Inspired Garden Life shirt. First of all, they gave free Inspired Garden Life shirts to anybody who was coming to Carlisle, which is just unbelievable, free. And then anybody that wore it, and there were some exceptions because some didn't get it in time, they made hats, TLC hats. I love my TLC hat. I should have worn it today. But my hair, well, it was a good hair day. It's not so much anymore. But I put it right on my head in Carlisle. The generosity of those two people is really unbelievable too. And their vacation videos are so cute. I agree. They are. Okay, who haven't we said hi to yet? It was so precious to meet them. My heart was so full that day. Me too. My regret, and I was texting with them yesterday. They're in the Outer Banks right now. I guess I was busy when they were setting up and they were kind of in the back. I would have put them in the front, but of course they're so humble and they just set up wherever. So I hope they were looking for people's gardening stories to record. And I would have showcased them right in the front because who doesn't want to see their smiling faces? Dennis says, I finished off the last of the yellow tomatoes Heidi grew. Not sure of the names, but wow, just wow, they were delish. That's good. My tomatoes really, for the most part, aren't delish any longer. They're just not. It's that time of year. Jeremiah, I want to grow the one you and Jen tasted together. That one nearly everyone liked. I tasted it even more impressive this time of year. I'll be talking about that and showing one that's not fully ripe yet. It's to die for. To die for. All right, let me skip ahead here. Oh my gosh, did I forget to mention Duran Duran of Bill Yoder's? You've got to be kidding me. That's my band. Bill and I talked about, I said to him, you should do a Duran Duran line. How could I forget Duran Duran? I'm like their Uber fan, and my college best friend is their manager. I can't believe I'm bad DD fan right now. Terrible. Rebecca, I started feeling better about a week after I was finished with my antibiotics for Lyme disease this summer. Well, that's good to know. That gives me a little bit of hope. I'm a little challenging because I have autoimmune diseases that make things challenging, but I'm going to hold on to that hope. We'll see what the doctor says tomorrow. Hey, Hector, it has been a while. Nice to see you, my friend. And Tim and Darylyn are here. Just stopped at a rest area to listen for a bit. This was 20 minutes ago. You guys are way too cute. Um, who else do we have? Mary, Creamsicle Mini is so awesome looking. So excited to start mine. And it's so nice and compact too. It looked so much better than this before I was letting it die. But here, I'll take one off. They're like a bicolor with a great shape. The cross of this is Tiny Totem and Funny Plum Yellow. I've gotten a lot of variants from that, but this is the best tasting one so far, and I hope it continues. It's unbelievably delicious, and with, like I said, with a Brix of 9.8. This one isn't super, super ripe. Let me just taste it, test it. I wonder why I go long. This one's a 7.7. Still incredibly high for a micro, but they do better when even more ripe. Couldn't help myself. Okay, who else do we have here? Creamsicle Mini, so pretty. So glad you're breeding sweet tomatoes into the world. I'd like to say it has something to do with my knowledge. I'm kind of just starting, as you guys know, it's been a few years. But I'm doing my best, and I've got some friends like Angwei and Bill Yoder, breeder friends who can help me out. Heidi, I have Missouri growing in the living room right now. Did it germinate? That's great. I know Deborah had gotten seeds, and a lot of people overseas got seeds from garden rot. And poor Deborah tried so many seeds and they didn't germinate. She thought they were old. So if you got germination, that's fantastic. I don't think I gave you mine yet. But I'm so glad. I stuck some in soil yesterday too. I'm gonna give it a try and see. Angwei says, "Hello everyone, it's good to be here. We're happy to have you back, Angwei." And Akelia, hi Angwei. Raminta Giuliano, there's a post about you in the group and your generosity yesterday, I think. Hello, lovely friends. Nice to see you. Mary, Angwei, yes, your work has many fans here. I agree. Oh, he's getting the love. Can I go on the list for Missouri, please? Private message me if you could. I don't really have a list. Well, I do, but I can't put it in my trade notebook right now, but I'd be happy to send you Missouri seeds. You need to grow it. Trust me. I love the few Angwei ES tomatoes that I have grown. They really like Kentucky soil. Let me tell you, the ones I'm growing, there's one that was a semi-determinate, which is Kuatli Salubong. And I think I talked about it 2 weeks ago. I think, I know at least Kina grew that. Jen, I think you may have too. Tiny little ribbed red adorableness. Thing, dwarf plant. It probably didn't get any higher than 30 inches tall, loaded with fruits. That lasted longer than I expected. But man, his varieties and even the experimental crosses that I'm honored to grow, they're going and going and going. He really, and disease resistant for sure. Kina says, I'm so excited and that Inspire Garden Life sent to the EU now and have V-necks. I know V-necks are great too. And tank tops. Hey, Deb. Hello, Lauren and fellow tomato peeps. Hey, John. Sorry I'm late. Thank you, John, for coming so far to Carlisle and for your very generous donations for prizes and all of that. Smash the like button. Yes, I would appreciate it if you guys did. Got lots of compliments on one of my shirts this past weekend, the world's okayest gardener. That's cute. All right, let me try skipping ahead again. Good question. What is your favorite early potato variety? I really like one. I get my seed potatoes from Wood Prairie Farm in Maine. Sounds crazy, but Maine is also known for potatoes. They're a family-owned farm with amazing varieties. I love one called Prairie Blush. And then Yukon Gold is pretty early. Um, yeah, those would be my two favorites, Prairie Blush. They're always sold out of Prairie Blush, unfortunately. Um, all right, I'm going to skip ahead. Rachel, I live by potato fields. One day they are nice and green, and the next day they get sprayed and all die. Growing your own is so smart. Or I live by potato fields. Yeah, it's only been like 4 or 5 years we've been growing them because I thought a potato's a potato. Potato's not a potato. Alexa is a big old liar. You are correct. In what? This was 13 minutes ago. What am I correct about? Or is it somebody else? And Jeffrey Rainmaker says, it's my pleasure and thank you and everybody else. Thank you. Thank you. I know you've been so busy with your other business, but we love Secret Seed Cartel. We're sorry to see Terry go, but she couldn't have handed it off to a better vendor. And my happy place is here. Hey there. All right. Who haven't I said hi to yet? Gigi's here. Hi, Gigi. And I don't think I've seen you, Lisa, today. Laughing at the hunkering over seeds, scooping out our treasures. Our country is so heavy right now. Gardening and saving seeds is revolutionary. That's a great way to frame it. It is revolutionary. When your biggest joy in life is seeing somebody cut open a tomato or a pepper that you really want seeds from and just scooping it into a napkin and bringing it home with you, that's beautiful. That's profound, isn't it? Funny, chuckling, and I'll never forget the look on Rob's face and him chuckling, looking at me. But yeah, it is revolutionary. You're right. That's a great way to frame it, Lisa. Oh, thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. Hey, Haley. Oh, I'm glad you're here because I haven't talked about the tomato yet, and you're part of this story. Lauren, that looks delicious. I assume creamsicle mini. It really is. I'm hoping that the future generations grow out to be as good as the F3 was because it would be probably my favorite micro of all time. But a lot can happen, and the last two generations have grown the same, but a lot can happen at this point in only F3, F4, so we shall see. Okay, this is really good to know, Heidi. So Heidi got them from Garden Rot 2 and no troubles germinating. That's good. I know many of you were concerned because you got from there, and I said I can send you some of my fresh seeds. That's really good to know. Excellent. And Kim, hi everyone. Is anyone else ready for the end of tomato season and to start the next? You know, kind of. Only because they're just not tasting very good right now. It hits like a wall third week in September or something, and the sweetness is all gone and they're all tangy. With the exception of the one I'm going to be talking about in a minute from Angway ES, called Angway ES. But that was, well, I'll explain why in a minute. But almost all of them just don't taste so good. But I'm glad I got to taste all of them while they were at their peak so I could give good reviews. Hey, Tiffany. Nice to see you. And Cheryl Caputo is here. Excellent. All right, I'm caught up on comments. I'm sure I'll be behind again in a minute, but I just want to once again remind you guys that today's episode, the prizes will be given away by Inspired Garden Life. All you have to do, and they've got a new Sacred Garden collections, which is what I'm wearing, Rooted in Love. Make sure you remember TLC 20. Whenever you order from them, you'll get 20% off, but they're giving away 5 free t-shirts and 3 $25 gift cards. And all you have to do to be eligible to win is type in #tomato in the comments. All right. Who wants to talk tomatoes? I do. I've given so many teasers. Okay, where's my slideshow? Okay. The first one is not the one. I moved it to second for no particular reason, but, well, for one reason. I have a friend, Joseph, from Spain, who always sends me some very unique Spanish varieties. Most of them you can't even find information on because they're regional in villages, and I just find that excellent. He sent me a bunch of long keepers a couple of years ago, which I grew last year, that were really outstanding. So he sent me a couple more, and there's one today that I logged on my spreadsheet today that looks and sounds great that I want to share with you all. It's called Roteño. Obviously, it's from Spain. And it is also an Arc of Taste Slow Food Foundation variety, which to me means must grow, must grow. So I'm going to grow it next year. So let me read you a little bit about Roteño. What does slow food Arc of Taste variety mean? I've explained it a few times, but it's an organization that puts importance into varieties that may be going extinct or that may be regional, and we want to be saving these and preserving their stories. So every time there's a pepper or a tomato that's in that, I'm like, I need that. And Roteño this is a variety native to the city of Cadiz, medium-sized, round, smooth tomato, deep citrusy and juicy flavor. Let me tell you what Joseph told me about it. He said it comes from Cadiz, Andalusia, very close to the mouth of the Guadalquivir River, one of the largest in Spain. I can tell you that this tomato is traditionally grown in the sandy soils of the area. There are both determinate and indeterminate varieties. This one he gave me is indeterminate. It's smaller, around 200 grams, and also very tasty. And then the Slow Food Arc of Taste website says, starting from a project of participative investigation action and taking advantage of the claim of the right for food by a group of families in Sierra de Cadiz who come from historic battles for the land and belong to the Le Verde Cooperative, the variety has been reintroduced in the province of Cadiz, starting from the seed preserved at the seed bank of the Polytechnic University of Valencia. The positive reception by local farmers and consumers has allowed the Roteño tomato to be produced and eaten again, and so it is coming back into circulation. The photo on the left, where did that come from? I did quite a bit of research. They're from 2 different sites. But so, Joseph, if you are watching, thank you so much for sending me these. You know me, I love varieties with stories, and especially ones that are in danger of no longer being in circulation. So thank you. I will be growing this next year. I forgot to mention, if it's your first time watching, make sure you have a notebook and pen in hand so you can write things down. We have Seed Seeking Saturday every Saturday in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, where you can put up to 5 varieties you are looking for each week. You can do 5 new ones, 5 repeats, and people are very generous, and we love to give out seeds, especially when somebody's looking for them. You can also put something in our most wanted post. You can have one most wanted variety in this post at all times. When it's found, you erase it and then put a new one up. So there are opportunities for you, even if something's really rare, and a lot of mine can be, it's a good way to put something in there and perhaps get it. So that's Rotania. Okay. Are we ready for the tomato? Is the next one the tomato? All right. Well, let me start by talking a bit about Phil Seneca, otherwise known as Angwe E.S. He is Native American, ran Good Mind Seeds forever. There's articles about him from back when he kind of first started breeding tomatoes. And Angwe, please correct me if I'm wrong about any of this, but he was kind of the wonder kid of the tomato world, breeding things at like 24 years old, including one that was super popular called Turtle Purple. And then he had health problems pop up. And about 10 years ago, 10 years ago, he sort of disappeared from the tomato world. And many people were wanting his varieties, including me. Many people put in most wanted. You may see Prince Charming's Bastard and Lime in the Coconut. Everybody wants these varieties, always in our most wanted posts. I did grow last year. I grew a variety of his called Hatho. Tried growing Turtle Purple. It turned out to be a cuckoo, or not true to type, unfortunately. But I've already talked for most of the season, up until just the last couple of weeks. I haven't talked about the varieties I've been growing of Angwe's because I wasn't sure how he felt about it. I felt quite honored that he trusted me with these seeds, trusted us with these seeds. And so I didn't want to breach that trust at all. But now, since we've become friends and in touch, and I know that he's okay with it and he's ready to get back into the tomato world, and we're so glad you're feeling better. I've been sharing more. So I've shared a couple recently. This one I can't stop talking about. It's called Queen Nanny. I'm sorry. Every time I talk about this, I feel badly for you, Kina, because I know you of all people really wanted this one. This one is still producing. Still producing. This is one of the smaller ones, and it's not fully ripe yet. This thing is a monster. And I honestly, when Rob and I tasted it, I wasn't expecting to like it. I'm not sure why. Has tremendous shelf life. We loved it. We gave it an 8.5 out of 10. The Brix is a 4.4. Shelf life is great. I think I already mentioned that. And production is outstanding. So Jeffrey Rainmaker yesterday said he'd like to put together eventually a package of Lauren's top 10 that he would sell. And so I've been thinking, I have to think like the top 3 to 5 are kind of easy. And then the others I'm going to have to think, but Queen Nanny could possibly be in there. I love this variety, not only for the flavor, but productivity, shelf life, like it checks all the boxes for me. So I've talked about that ad nauseum. I just mentioned this one. This is the dwarf semi-determinate Kawatli Salubong, which was the most adorable plant ever, full of those things. And then I brought some of these to Carlisle to taste also, Soika Gakwa. That is one of his too. So and Turtle Purple, if you've seen that, if you go to goodmindseeds.com, you will see a lot of his varieties, but not all are up there. So I just wanted to start this up with, these are some of his that I've talked about already. Then there's another one. He sent me these seeds through a friend, my friend Terry, and thank you, Terry, if you're watching. There was one in particular that when I looked it up, I'm like, this is the one I'm dying for. And it is called Angwe E.S., which is the name he goes by on Facebook. It is a white. And I haven't had great luck with whites, but the way it was described, it's not on goodmindseeds.com, but it is listed, I believe he listed it on Tatiana's Tomato Base as not only the best tomato they've ever tasted, and Tomato Faifu also lists it without a picture, I think. Yeah, I think they list it without a photo. They say it's not only the best white, but one of the best tomatoes they've ever had. So this was very late for me. I grew 2 plants. One in my raised bed just didn't fruit, flower, or anything. It was really weird. But thank goodness I had an extra plant and I put it in a grow bag. It's in kind of a shady area. So while this is a late season variety, and Angway did say during our Carlisle episode that it's good to start this one earlier than later because it is so late. But so I just started getting them, which is why it was the first time we had tasted it in Carlisle. And let me tell you, it knocked my socks off. I haven't had great luck with whites. I thought they were fine. I like more flavor. They're very mild for people that don't do well with tomatoes that taste really acidic. Whites are great, as well as yellows and oranges. I actually gave one of these plants to my nephew also. But this one sounded different. And let me tell you, it was different. Jen and I tasted it. In fact, I took some screenshots if you weren't able to watch the episode. This is a fully ripe one. There's the outside and there's the inside. It gets a bit of a pink hue to it. This thing was amazing. And so I mentioned Haley a little while ago. Haley Sizemore Sample. She's the queen of white tomatoes. And she had some kind of radar going on. She was all the way on the other side of the pavilion. And when Jen and I were cutting into Angway ES, she made her way to the table and got to taste it. This is a delicious tomato. Probably in my top 3. I need to work it all out, but probably in my top 3 of all time. The Brix, 8.7. I'm getting them some in the 7s, but this one was an 8.7. It almost doesn't taste like a tomato. It's very fruity. And Haley, Jen, Akelia, I know you tasted a little bit. Anybody who tasted it, feel free to put your thoughts in also. It was unreal. Kind of like a pineapple, but without the acid. It's one of those varieties that haunts me because I loved it so much. I'm not just saying that. In fact, I was telling Angway and Jen afterwards, like I was so excited to taste it. And then I'm like, gosh, what if we hated it? He was right there on the air with us. And I would have had to like, I wouldn't have pretended like to the extent I'm talking about now, but I would have said, oh, it's good. And, made up some stuff just out of respect. But this really is that good. The only one I have right now, because I'm talking about it, so many of you want seeds, and this variety has very, very few seeds, very, very few seeds. So over the last couple of days, I've been cutting up all the ripe ones I have. So this is the only one I have right now. It's a smaller one. You can see the bottom is starting to ripen. And I will try to get it for as many people as you want. I may only be able to give you 2 or 3 seeds because there really are very few seeds. It's very meaty. It's just extraordinary. And the texture is buttery and delicious. What else did I have to say about it? Rob loved it too. Let me see my other notes from my book, my handy dandy review book. One of the best tomatoes I've ever had. Tastes like fruit, intense pineapple. The flavor is intense. That's what I wasn't expecting from a white. Very intense flavor, totally lingers on the palate. I think it was like 5 minutes later, I'm still talking with Jen, and I'm like, I still taste this tomato, which is a big win for me. This is a potato leaf plant. Huge potato leaves. Huge potato leaves. Since I had to grow this in a grow bag, my guess, and I think Jen said hers grew much bigger, but I think they fell on the ground and were rotting. So this one averaged around 9 ounces. My guess is they get a bit bigger than that if they're in open ground or in a raised bed. Juicy and unlike any tomato I've tried. Top 3 of all time. A forever grow. Very low acid. Sweet and fruity with lots of tanginess too. I actually wrote this down. Perfection. Velvety and buttery. Haunting flavor I can't stop thinking about. So Jeffrey, this will be in Lauren's top 10 that if you're still planning on doing that Lauren's top 10 package, this will be on it. Anybody else? Let me see who's here and who tasted it with me. I gave it a 9 out of 10 while we were there, but I've since changed it. I was kind of flustered, and when I got home and I got to taste more, it's a 9.5 out of 10. It really is that, and I don't know if I've got 4 or maybe 5 varieties that are 9.5 out of 10. Julia, yes, I know you've been after both of those for years now, the Prince Charming's Bastard and Lemon the Coconut. I'm a little behind. Let's see. Can't wait to get my hands on Queen Nanny. I do have lots of seeds for Queen Nanny. I just saved a whole bunch more yesterday. That is a very seedy. Here, let me cut this one open and show you guys. Lots of seeds and goo. So I will have plenty to give away to anyone. You can see here, lots of seeds and goo on Queen Nanny. Still not the same as it was during the regular season, but still kind of good. Yes, Queen Nanny is a full-size indeterminate. Thank you for asking that. Yvette says, I have Noctli from Phil Sednick. I haven't tried to grow that one yet. Soika Gakwa is so pretty, like a little drop of sunshine. I don't know if I showed this already. That's a Soika Gakwa. I have plenty of seeds for this too. They taste like sunshine. They're very good. Oh, I don't know why I'm answering. Angwei's here to answer. Excellent. Kina, Queen Nanny. I will grow her at some point, hopefully next year. Same as the Angwei ES, hopefully next year. So sad my plant this year didn't produce. Angwei, I told you that out of Kina, Jen, and myself, Kina was I think I told you this just today. Poor Kina had this on her want list forever in her most wanted. And when I got my hands on it from you, I'm like, I was almost more excited to get Queen Nanny to Kina. And for something happened with hers. It didn't grow true to type. Something happened. I forget what it was. But I tell you, it's worth the wait. But I feel so badly out of all the people, hers wasn't true to type. All right, Jen. And to make it even better, it had been sitting in the sun and it was warm, so yummy. You're so right. It was warm. It was like heaven. It was like heaven. Tiffany, I've never had a white on the wish list. Andrew, I am envious. Wow. Malachi, Jen, yes. A knock your socks off white. Amazing. And not just a knock your socks off white, a knock your socks off full stop tomato. Absolutely, in my opinion, absolutely delicious. I'm glad Haley got to taste it too. Jen says buttery meat. It was. Ben had tasted it too. 8.7 for a white. Amazing. And Angwei had said he had it tasted or tested, and it has no acid in it. So for those of you that you may not be able to take acid or your spouses can't, it's a great one for that too. Super intrigued. Need to grow Angwei ES. Good question. How does it hold on the counter? Well, according to Angwei, very, very well. I wouldn't know because I am taking those seeds right out as soon as they're ripe. And I was also telling Angwei that normally when I'm seeding, I'll take the rest of the flesh and the skin and I'll put that in my sauce. I seeded all 3 of these the other day, and not one made it into my sauce. Every one made it into my mouth, and Rob's too. I gave him some. It's that good. It's that good. But to answer your question, Lisa, he says that it holds on the counter well. Stop everything. I can't find a pen. Have no fear, Mary. Potato leaves are a plus for me. Yeah, these are the biggest potato leaves I've ever seen, too. You've grown the wrong whites. I guess I have, huh? I grew a couple and then I just wasn't interested anymore. Jen says, yes, I got a couple monster tomatoes, but they got hidden and overripe. I'm regrowing it next year for sure. Yeah, I had a feeling that mine were not as big as they get because he had mentioned in, I think, Tatiana's tomato base that they do get large. Jeffrey, let's go. Noted. Yeah, I'll send you seeds for that. Gigi, wow, looks delicious. Updated to my most wanted. I have a feeling it's going to go on many most wanteds, and I promise you I will do the very best I can because I want to get this variety out there. Angwe says Soika Gakwa translates to moon in my language, which makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Perfect sense. Oh, he also told me that Angwe Es translates to the human eater, a giant that eats people. He meant it to be like the plant in the Little Shop of Horrors that eats people. And then he goes, he uses that as his Facebook name because he thinks it's funny to go by the name of the tomato, and not to mention his outspoken nature. Well, we are glad to have Angwe Es with us and to share these great varieties and great stories. He's sending me some others. I'm sending him a whole bunch of things too, and some of the crosses that he so kindly gave me. I'm sending him some seeds back that we're looking at, that he's looking to pursue further. So it's very exciting. Eek, I need it, says Julia. You do. You do. Everybody does. Angwei says, I tested it at high pH, low acid, not no acid, but that would be pretty cool. I didn't think anything was no acid, but I swore I saw something listed as no acid. Must not have been from you. But I've only seen it listed 2 places. Maybe that's just my mistake. Going on my wish list. Angwei Es needs to come to France, especially to my place. I want Angwei. I love that, the people eater. I know it. Okay. So I could spend the entire episode on this, and I'll probably refer back to it, but that's a good one to keep an eye out for. And that's Jen and I with a very fully ripe one. It does get a pink hue to it when fully ripe. Here's I thought I had one, but no, I just seeded the last ones of these 2. This is another one by Angwei called Fred Martinez. Kina, Jen, and I all got to grow it. Kina just listed this on her Instagram yesterday. Jen, I don't know if I heard if yours took or not, but it's called Fred Martinez, a very unique variety. It is woolly, woolly foliage, woolly fruit. And the interesting thing is that the crosses have no woolly in them whatsoever. The crosses are Coastal Pride Orange and Muddy Waters. Muddy Waters by Tom Wagner. Coastal Pride Orange is from you, Angwei, correct? Excuse me one second. So it's a really interesting variety. They're about this big. Some of them get more antho than others. I will admit, and I told Angwei this today, that I didn't think I was going to like it because of the antho, but I did. It was just a touch of antho that didn't make it taste very soapy like I like. I had 2 plants of this, and they're like adorable little pets, is what they are. It's not yet stable. Angwei asked Tom Wagner about crosses in Muddy Waters, if there's any woolly in there, and he said no, so they can't figure it out. The name Fred Martinez is a bit of a sad story, but a beautiful that he's carrying it on. He was a Navajo teen. He known as Two Spirits. So I I don't want to get this incorrect, but identified as both a male and a female, so kind of gender fluid. He was killed they were killed in 2001. And there's actually a movie about their story called Two Spirits. So Ongwei wanted to pay tribute to them and grow this variety, which is really, really special. Not the most productive in the world, but more productive than I thought. And originally I thought I was only going to get like 3 fruits. They grow in clusters. But it turned out that I kept finding more and more, but not super productive. Most of his varieties are super productive. And let me see what I wrote about it. Gold with antho on shoulders. Plant and fruit are woolly, gorgeous fruits. Surprisingly good, I wrote. Very fruity with no antho flavor. And some of the fruits had more antho on them as others. I had some fruits that really had very little. Kina, if you look on Kina's Instagram, you'll see hers are pretty antho. So that's a really fun variety. And thank you, Ongwei, for giving me seeds for that also. Good night, Kina. Thanks for joining in. I love woolly tomatoes, says Linda. Teresa, are you selling or trading seeds? He's not selling at the moment, but considering in the future. Oh, that's right. You did tell me this. Coastal Pride oranges from the late Dan McMurray, an excellent orange dwarf. My bad. You just told me this. I apologize. Okay, so that's another one of his that's kind of fun, and you won't find any information about it yet until I get my review up on Instagram. And then another one, which I'm surprised I haven't talked about yet, is Amazing Grapes. This is not that hard to find. A lot of people have it under the name Lost Marbles Green. A woman in, what's her name? From Germany. So Amazing Grapes is actually a green sister to one of Ongwei's varieties called Lost Marbles. It's the sister variety to that, a green ripe variety. And apparently this Mary D. Hope, I believe is her name, she grew it, regular Lost Marbles years ago, came out green, didn't realize that there actually was a green version of it called Amazing Grapes, so she calls it Lost Marbles Green. They are, in fact, amazing grapes, so you may know it as Lost Marbles Green, but they are amazing grapes. This has been a superstar for me all year long. The production on this is insane, growing it in the one of my raised beds. Nonstop. It's not like sugary sweet like a Sun Gold. But they were like, this and another experimental cross of his were like my favorite garden snacks all year. So refreshing. I wrote down that I feel like, now this is a natural thing to say because of the name, but I swear they taste like a cross between green grapes and honeydew melon. And I really loved it. They're just nonstop and have been all season long. What else did I say about it? Delicious, so prolific, transparent green cherries, most prolific I've grown, and that is true. Not sugary sweet, but my fave garden snack. Tastes like green grapes and honeydew, a monster in the garden, a great cherry. I would definitely grow this again. Lots and lots of good garden eating from that. Oh, you grew it too, Deb. I loved Amazing Grapes of Season. Tasty morsels. Aren't they so tasty? So it has 6.4 bricks, which is still sweet. It's just not, some people like sugary sweet, and this is not it. It's more refreshing. Doesn't it taste like green grapes, Deb? Let's That sounds delicious. It really is. If you're joining us late, make sure you type in hashtag tomato. And Inspired Garden Life is giving away 5 free t-shirts and 3 $25 gift cards. So 8 winners today. They do it the first Thursday of each month, and I'm very grateful for that. I think we all are. Sounds delicious. Yum. Yum. So is that it for, yeah, that's it for Angwe for today. I have some other crosses of his, but I'm not going to mention them just because I do have them in my photo album. If you look, my entire album of all the photos of things I grew this year is on my Facebook page, Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. So you can find it there. There's an album now called 2025 Tomatoes, I think. But, you know, sharing them here may be pointless since they're not stable or released yet, but there's some really great ones. So now let's move on to Mr. Lucas Wallman. This variety I talked about, it was probably the first variety I tasted for you guys back in the early summer, micro wine. I grew it in a hanging variety, the same place I grew his microberry last year. Microberry Jerry, my resident chipmunk who loved microberry last year, loved micro wine too. But I wanted to talk about it again because I'm talking about some of his other ones. These things grow hundreds and hundreds of beautiful sugar bombs. They're delicious. Micro wine, my first ripe were in early July. It's a multiflora, obviously. I grew it in a deck railing planter hanging. It's not necessarily meant for that, but it did just fine in that. It's a cross of Lucas's microberry and daddle wine. One of the crosses. We'll talk about another one in a minute. Was incredibly prolific, but would definitely do better in a larger container. And then Lucas had told me, I think it was last year with microberry, that you can just cut off the trusses and they can keep for a long time. I can vouch for that. You can see this truss has been dead. I cut this off a couple of weeks ago because there's one variety I've been waiting to talk about that just won't ripen. And so I cut this off waiting for the episode. It's been like a month. But the Brix 8.2, really delicious variety. John, this is a good question. What are the new rules the U.S. government has imposed on importing seeds, and how does it affect the seed vendors in Europe? I don't know. I can't tell you exactly what the rules are, but spoke with Tatiana Nagel from Tomato Eden. She has something on her homepage that she's still going to continue to sell. She just needs to put things in letters. I think if they're in letters versus packages, they're less apt to have problems. What the actual law is, I don't think it's been legal like ever, to be honest with you. But I think it depends on the vendor. Like Terry from Secret Seed Cartel just said she wasn't able to do it, not willing to do it. So she wasn't able to ship to the United States and figured she may as well sell to somebody in the United States. But what the actual laws are, I can't tell you for sure. I'm not sure if that's helpful or not. All right, the next one of Lucas's. This is the one I've been waiting for. 6 weeks I've had these picked, and they just don't ripen. It's called Nebulous Sugar Shock. And apparently they don't ripen, according to Lucas. This is, it's a commercial variety. He says the Brix can get up to 15. It's got the Syngenta strain called Nebula, which means it never fully ripens, hence the name Nebulous Sugar Shock. The photo on the right is not my photo. That's one of his. The photo on the left are mine. Some of them are getting, like a, gosh, it doesn't even look like it here, but there's some that are more red than others. Here's one. But I've got to tell you, even less ripe. They're delicious. These, oh, it's got a whole Queen Nanny here I could be snacking on. They're crunchy little sugar bombs. Oh, look at this. So I asked Lucas, are you okay if I share with your unripe seeds? Look at that. So the last bricks I took on this was an 8.8. Let's take one here and see what it says. 8.7. But they have great shelf life. So I'm going to keep waiting and see. He got the variety from, he told me this, RDB. Oh, I'm forgetting the name. Lucas, maybe you can put it in the comments. I apologize. This is an F4 selection of commercial type that does not fully mature, therefore would only get a bright red. Tastes sweet and fruity. I've never had a sweeter one. Plant is strong and bears well. It matures all the crisps at once. They are so crunchy and delicious. A really great snack. Even underripe. Oh, that one was sweeter for sure. Wow. Delicious. So that's Nebulous Sugar Shock. Ah, there he is right there. Lucas got them from me, RDB Tunurin. I'm sorry for the pronunciation of your name. Thank you. Thank you. He did tell me that. Evelina got a bricks of 12. Was so sweet. How long did it take for them to ripen for you, Evelina? I'm thrilled I grew them, and I'm curious to see how long they take to ripen. But I tell you, even underripe, good. I know Lucas took it off his site, his open breeding site, because he felt they were just taking too long. But I would maybe start them a little earlier next year. But they're good. I can't even imagine how good they are when fully ripe. All right, and then another one, Pear of Pleasure. Now, I did the same thing with Pear of Pleasure. I grew it in a kind of trained it to grow in a hanging basket, which is not necessarily what is intended to be, but aren't they so cute? So cute, these tiny little pears. Bricks of 8.6, they're very sweet. They did do well in a hanging basket. You can believe me, if you grow micro wine or Pear of Pleasure or both, which I did, you'll never need cherry tomatoes for salads again. Non-stop. They're still going. Both of them are still going. Bricks was an 8.6. It's another phenotype of his micro wine crossing, so daddle wine and microberry. These are super cute because of the pear shape. He writes, as a multiflora, I would prefer a larger pot if it is not planted directly into the ground. Taste is fruity, spicy, not so sweet. Oh, yeah, 8.6 is pretty sweet. Not Nebulous Sugar Shock sweet, but pretty sweet. The lowest, smallest panicle in 2023 had 155 fruits. They ripen from yellow to dark. Yeah, I was a big fan of this. Just from the looks of it, I knew I was going to like it, but it is loaded. Lucas, you are very, very talented. Brianna says, I'm sold. Oh, RDB says 1 out of 30 have a bricks of 15. I'm going to wait. I can't wait. It is a delicious, delicious variety. And they're holding up. I told Lucas, they look like they could go 6 months. So I'm going to wait and see. Heidi says, now that looks like one I would really like to try. If you like this not ripening, you have to try a red one with Brix 15, but you need to grow more F4 seeds to find the one special plant. Well, I intend on it. I intend on it. It's been really fun to grow this. Thank you for allowing me to grow this from you guys. They sound delicious. I can hear it crunching, yeah. And a Pear of Pleasure was my first to ripen, and they are still producing. I know, right? I started mine a little bit later, so they weren't the first, but they're nonstop. Microberry Jerry hasn't been around for a while, but he seems to prefer the micro wine over Pear of Pleasure. Maybe it's just down the other end of the deck. I put micro wine exactly where microberry was last year, so maybe that's why. Pear of Pleasure, so pretty. Okay, what's next? Another one of Lucas's. I've been waiting to talk about this one. Bag Saddle, which I'm sure is not the correct pronunciation. This is an F5 by Lucas. It's a cross of Brad's Atomic Grape and Sweet Aperitif. Produces large trusses with 20 fruits that were larger than cocktail tomatoes. Due to it being an F5, minor differences in the plants and fruits are to be expected. But if you like to experiment and ideally keep more than one, you can expect delicious fruits from these parent varieties. Let me tell you, these are sweet. I don't know if you can see the Brix score in that photo, but it's 10.2. Some of these are going already. I've been getting these all season. So good. Let me go alone so I can show you closer up. Aren't they beautiful? Such flavor. Such flavor. I swear between Angway and Lucas, I love breeders that give us lots of flavor, and you certainly have been doing that. It's fantastic. Bags. Anybody else grown this one? It's just short for Brad's Atomic Grape. Oh, and Sweet Aperitif. Danny Lucas Phenotype. Oh, look at that. They're so good. Even this late in the season, they're still super good. So I believe these are for sale on Lucas's site, lucasopenbreeding.org. I think I'm missing a hyphen or something in there. But maybe you could put the link. Please don't forget to send me some seeds. Mine did not do well. No problem. No problem. I'm glad mine did well. I'm sorry that yours didn't, though. Love these colors. And look at the interior color. If you can see, let me expand this so you can see that interior. Aren't they beautiful? All right, so I think that's the last one of Lucas's. The next one. So other than Angway ES, which only a few of us got to taste in Carlisle, sorry everybody, there was one that seemed to be the favorite of the ones that I brought. And I mentioned it. I mentioned it a couple months ago, I think in my grow list videos when I was unveiling what I was growing, but I haven't talked about it since. I did taste it live on a show maybe a month ago, but I haven't really. Sometimes tasting live on the show, I can't fully, process. So Rob and I reviewed it ourselves, and it is delicious. It's from the UK. It's called Dwarf Brown Number 9, otherwise known as Maths Brown Number 9. I got my seeds from Bounty Hunter Seeds. I started it late, which means it's kind of kicking butt now, which could be why this one tasted good and a lot of the other ones I brought did not. These are beauties, and I just seeded the last one yesterday. I don't know why I can't just hang on one more day to show you on the show, but they're about this big. Beautiful color, beautiful brown color, nice and short, very productive. Let's see. It's a determinate with regular leaf foliage, created by Math Bailey of the United Kingdom. Fruits are 120 to 200 grams. Looks like that's about 3 ounces I've got there. Excellent, slightly spicy flavor. My only complaint of this one is the skin is a little bit chewy, but the taste is so excellent that you kind of overlook that. Anybody that went to Carlisle taste Dwarf Brown number 9? I gave out a bunch of seeds after people tasted it. Brianne, I knew it was going to be this one. As soon as you talked about how everyone loved it at the meetup, I put it on my list. Did you get seeds? I hope you did. I had a whole bunch of seeds to give out of this one at the meetup. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's sweet, but it's not just sweet. It's got some tanginess, lots and lots of flavor. Sherman, yes, Dwarf Brown number 9 is delicious. Many seed scoops were happening. Yeah, Sherman was one of the seed scoopers, that's for sure. Wow, so dark. Yeah, I love the exterior and the interior. Ongwei says, Math Bailey is a pleasure to talk to. I've never had the pleasure, but this is a great variety if you talk to him or her. Not sure if it's a him or a her, but let them know this was a favorite at the tasting for sure. Love the browns. Oh, Brian, I'm sorry. And we didn't get a chance to talk much, you and I. Love the browns. We'll make sure I'll get a list from you of things you'd like from me, and we'll make sure we get you some of those. Lots of seeds in goose, so I should be able to give away plenty of seeds for this. Gorgeous color too. What did let's see what else I said about it. Another one I tasted here on the show was a little chewy. So sweet and flavorful, gorgeous coloring, very intensely flavored. Skin slightly chewy, but not enough to take my attention away from this fabulous tomato. We rated it an 8.5 out of 10. Bricks 8.2, as you can see in the picture there. So that was definitely a favorite of the year. Is it rugose regular leaf or just a compact plant? It is rugose, definitely rugose leaves and compact. I don't know if that makes any sense. It was, a dwarf. I'm not sure I'm following what you're asking, but there is, I know, I've got written down that there's some people that say there's potato leaf and some people say there's regular leaf. Mine is definitely the rugose regular leaf, and I've got 2 plants of it growing. Not sure if that helps. Probably didn't get very tall. Probably 36 inches or so, which would be, 90 centimeters? Sorry, Mary. Let me know if I didn't answer your question, if I'm just not following it. So that was a good one. Okay, this next one I haven't talked about since I mentioned it, that I was going to grow it this year. It's a rare variety with not a lot of information out about it. It's called Fiery Mountains. How beautiful is this? And it's all of a sudden getting a second wind. These are these beautiful bicolor hearts that came on pretty early in the season and kind of died down, and now all of a sudden they're exploding again. Great yield. Samina torg.ru. It's an indeterminate mid-season variety. Juicy, buttery, very sweet, dense. Let's see what Rob and I had to say about it. We gave it an 8 out of 10. Bricks 5.1. I know that picture has 4.6, but we retested it and it's a 5.1. Let's see. Number 82. Very fruity and sweet with great intense flavoring. Gorgeous and good, very large fruits. Don't let it go too long. Definitely. Their first taste was of mushy one, so it's better when just ripe or even a little bit underripe. But it's a real beauty. I can't find origin. Something I read said perhaps Uzbekistan, but until I know for sure, I'd rather just leave it off. It's a pretty one. Was this one grown on your deck? No, I didn't grow dwarf brown number 9 on my deck. I did grow it in a grow bag, like a 7-gallon grow bag. I got 2 plants. They're down on the ground in front of my deck, but it's not on my deck. But one of the ones I'm talking about, the next one, I totally could grow on my deck. So that's Fiery Mountains. Bicolor hearts, I know. Beautiful. Looks like a couple things I grew last year, like Esite Crystal, and there were like 2 others. I always forget. There were 3 that looked almost identical. I always remember Esite Crystal. That interior, gorgeous. I know. There, you answered my question. Thanks. I will grow it next year on Tomato Boulevard with my dwarfs and grow bags. Yep, definitely does good in a grow bag. All right, so the next one that you could totally grow on your deck is called Red House Freestanding. It's another rare dwarf. I was given a few seeds from Sean from Bounty Hunter. I had found out about it through Blaine Horton, as a matter of fact. He had told me that if I could get my hands on seeds for these, you want to hold on to them because it's really a special variety. And I saw it was listed on Sean's site, but he was out of stock. So I asked him, and he was able to give me like 2 or 3 seeds. This thing has flavor. Wow. Very, very sour. Now, sour isn't necessarily always a bad thing. It's one that makes you pucker, that is for sure. It didn't get very tall, stayed at 70 centimeters, which is 28 inches tall. Still going outside. This was a late addition too, but they, according to Sean at Bounty Hunter, he says it's a tree-type dwarf plant. Regular rugose, leaf foliage, semi-determinate. Production was okay. It would probably do better in a larger vessel, but this has, like, if you like intense flavor, and this isn't code for me saying I hated it. It was like our first bite was like, holy smokes, what just happened in my mouth? Very few varieties taste like this. Has enough sweetness to offset it. It would be great for breeding for sure. It's got great compact growing habit, and the fruits are super cute. And wow, as far as flavor, anybody else grown this one before? Red House Freestanding? Terry says, hello, everyone. Hi, Terry. Nice to see you. Nesha, super late. Hello, everyone. No problem at all. Make sure you guys put in hashtag tomato. Got one more tomato and a couple peppers to talk about, so we're sort of ending the end of the episode. But yeah, so that's Red House Freestanding. I would totally grow it again. It has sometimes the flavor's indescribable, and I would say that about this variety. So much flavor, sweet and sour, for sure. I gave a few seeds to a couple people for this, and then mine died. Aw. Well, let me know if you need more, my friend. Julia, Red House Freestanding will be my first non-negotiable variety for 26. I promised it to Kina, too. She had it in her most wanted. And I said, I happen to be growing it. Yeah, it's definitely a special variety. Okay, my last tomato is, I haven't talked about anything from Sofia Sakova today. I had tasted an original one of Captivating Heart, and it was a bit overripe, so I wanted to wait for ripe ones to give it a full taste. And here it is, Captivating Heart. It's an F7. Sophia says, obviously, it's not stable yet. There could still be splitting mid-season. For me, it was late season. I had one kind of mid-season, and the rest of them have definitely been taking their sweet time, and it's late season, which is kind of unlike most of the varieties I've been growing from her. Brix is a 5.2. We rated it an 8 out of 10. Pretty good. Let's see what else we said about it. I will be eventually getting my detailed reviews up on Instagram and Facebook for all of these, but for now I just had to get the pictures up. Delicious, beautiful, fruity and sweet, fantastic, buttery, wonderful variety. I know Kina really loved it. She put something in Tomato Lovers Collective about it the other day. So she really loved it. And I feel like somebody else, I don't know if it was you, Amy, somebody else grew it also. So that's Captivating Heart. So those are the tomatoes. And I've got a couple really interesting peppers. My wish list keeps expanding during today's awesome sauce. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I really am. That is a gorgeous tomato. It is. It really is. Jen grew it. Of course it was you, Jen. I agree. It was nice and buttery. Eva, whoa, what is that? Those colors are captivating. I agree. Hence the name probably, right? I don't normally talk about many peppers, but there's a couple that I wanted to talk to you guys about this week. This one, I got seeds from TOMATO AWESOMESAUCE, Valdis Poulins from Latvia. He runs Tomato Galaxy and TOMATO AWESOMESAUCE. And this one due to the pictures that he showed on his site, I'm like, I must grow this one. And my peppers, they got kind of a late start. Mine, they just didn't do all that well. So they're now just starting to come in. Look at how beautiful these are. Let me show you. Aren't these gorgeous? Now, for you pepperheads, perhaps there's more gorgeous peppers, but these are some of the prettiest that I've seen for sure. Anybody else grow this? I think Kina and Jen both said they're growing it this year. I think you guys said you don't have any ripe ones yet, if I'm not mistaken. As far as taste, it tastes like a bell pepper. It wasn't anything special to me. The Brix was a 6.3, which for a pepper is actually a little bit low. But, I mean, it was a good pepper. It just didn't taste like anything special. But and production was really good, too. Just for the looks of it, like you could use this for stuffed peppers or something like that, it's definitely worth a grow. It translates to Milky Way. I love when peppers are yellow inside with beautiful purple coloration on the outside. I know, so pretty, right? Wow, gorgeous peppers. So I tried doing more research on this variety, and I've only seen it listed at TOMATO AWESOMESAUCE. Let me see if I can get the link real quick. Valdis, oh, here's the link right here. I'll put it in the comments. It looks like he may be out of stock at the moment, but I bet he'll be restocking all his new stuff very, very soon. Couldn't find it listed anywhere else. So that was a really nice find. Next pepper. Oh, wait, I just saw a comment. Lauren, I have a beautiful pepper on my Bagheera seedling number 2 plant. I love that plant. I'm so glad you're growing it. That was a special pepper. I've been thinking about maybe growing it indoors. I haven't done any micro peppers indoors, but I think I may start some in my hydroponic unit. I loved that. I hope you enjoy it too. Was it like Sweet Bells? Yes, that's exactly what it was like. Sweet Bells. I don't want to say it was anything out of the ordinary. They are sweet. I mean, 6.3 is still respectable, but it wasn't like you must have this over another bell pepper. It's really just, It's a good bell pepper, and it looks really freaking cool. I have seeds for Milky Way, growing it next year, though. Smart choice. I think I'm going to grow it again, too. Here's the next one, which I don't know much about. It's known as yellow ding dong or yellow ding-a-ling. Here's the story. Jen, when we did our plant swap in Carlisle back in May, I told Jen my peppers weren't doing well, and she gifted me with all kinds of wonderful pepper plants, including one called, I forget if you listed it as yellow ding dong or yellow ding-a-ling. Apparently they're used interchangeably. You can't find, or I can't find, information about this thing other than one YouTube video where I guess he's a pepper reviewer. He reviewed it and he's like, I finally got my hands on these, and he reviewed it. So Jen gave me the plant. By the time I got it home, the thing had cut in half somehow. It didn't make the trip. So I researched, because I don't know peppers like I know tomatoes, and I'm like, can you root a pepper plant from like the top? And lo and behold, you can, thank goodness. So it took a while to get it going, and I put it in a, I think a 3-gallon pot, and it's doing great, but it would do even greater in open ground or a larger pot for sure, because this thing's exploding. But I'm just grateful I got them, because these are delicious. Now, normally I really only do sweet and mild, gentle heat. This apparently has a Scoville of 30,000. It's got heat, but they taste so good. If you look at this brick score, that is not a lie. 14.2. It is so flavorful. It's just I like hot stuff. I don't avoid hot stuff because I don't like hot stuff. I just think growing one plant of super hots, what am I going to do with all these things? You know, I'd like to add some heat to my dishes. These are perfect for something hot for me. So sweet. This one doesn't have much heat to it. Interesting. As I get up further to the seeds, I will. And I don't want to eat too much because I do want to save seeds. I can't find listings for these anywhere. I don't know if any of you pepperheads out there can find information. Yellow ding dong, but I like ding-a-ling even better. Now, the guy in the video said they're the same thing, no? He listed it as exactly the same thing. But it's your plant. You would know better than I would. Oh, yeah, yellow ding dong hot sauce for sure. A yellow what? Well, Jen likes dirty named things, so that's where it comes from. But I sure am glad I got this because it's delicious. It might be a cousin to Peter pepper, Julia, because when I do research on it, that pepper comes up a lot. So it very well could be. They're nice in salads. Brianna. Oh, Jen says, no, I like the name better. Gotcha. Brianna says, I have seeds for this, but I've not grown it yet. I love the fresh name and shape of peppers. I'm telling you guys, if you can get your hands on seeds for this, it's really good. It's not, obviously I can take a bite out of it and not die, although right now I'm not tasting much heat at all. That flavor and that sweetness, it's just got so much flavor that before I got into peppers, I'm like, I didn't think peppers had much flavor. I know, blasphemy. This is a good one. Could be, Julie. If you find out, let me know. I can't find out anything other than this one. If you Google it, you'll find the same YouTube video that I have where he lists them both. But I don't think he says where they came from. Mary, okay, I have to say it. I need a ding-a-ling. And I bet they're yummy pickled. I bet you are right. Going on my wish list. All right, and the final one, giant sweet devil's horn, is this. I thought I talked about this one already. I know I talked about it I've mentioned it before, but I'm not sure if I've shown it. So this is one that Bill Yoder mentioned to me last year that I must grow it. It's a variety from Heritage Seed Market Bunny Hop Seeds. Don't let the word devil fool you. It is pure sweet, no heat at all. It is so prolific. Really, really good. The Brix is a 7.4. We gave it an 8 out of 10. Oh, by the way, we gave Yellow Dingaling a 9 out of 10. I might even up it to a 9.5. It's really that good. You can get seeds for this at Bunny Hop Seeds. And, if you're looking for sweet peppers and a lot of them, this is a great pepper to grow. This and Bridge to Paris, which Lisa Marin gave me seeds for. That's like a red version of this. And they're both so sweet and great in dishes. I really love them both. Will you just quit going on my pepper wish list? This one I know you can find at Bunny Hop Seeds right now. Giant Sweet Devil's Horn. I'm saving seeds, of course, also, but it's really, really a great variety. So that is it for today. All right, a little under than 2 hours. We did okay, huh? Ongwei and Lucas, if you're still here, thank you for being here with us. It was nice to talk about your varieties while you were here. And now's your last chance to get in #tomato before we do our drawings. And I'd just like to thank again, Got to Grow Devil's Horn. Wow, Lauren. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. You lost your Bridge to Paris plant. Oh, that's delicious. Lisa's like, you've got to grow this. You will love it. And she's right. I do. I use it, using it in dishes just about every night. Thank you to Tim and Darylyn. They're away and they still provided the slides for today. They're just amazing. So 5 shirts. Don't forget, if you're going to order from them, use TLC20 to get 20% off of everything. They've got a new Sacred Gardens collection. And let's do some drawings. Now, if you win, instead of reaching out to me, I'll have it scrolling on the bottom. You need to email them at support@inspiredgardenlife.com. So let's do this thing. Let's get the giveaway tool. Don't forget to tune in to Jen and I tomorrow night, where we'll have Bill Yoder with us. If anybody has any questions on anything I talked about today, please private message me. My virtual door is always open. Susan Kirby. Congratulations, Susan. Oh, what happened? Wait, what's happening? All right, something's happening. Susan Kirby, you won. Looks like the giveaway tool's not working, but obviously it drew you. Let me write this down. Okay, so T-shirt 1, Susan Kirby. T-shirt 2. Hopefully this works. We went through a long time of giveaway tools not working, right, guys? Don't need that again. Nicole Swartz. Congratulations, Nicole. All right, it's not doing it anymore. Number 2. It was very, very cool in Carlisle to see the whole place filled with people wearing Inspired Garden Life shirts. It really was. And then have Tim and Daryl in there with us, of course. Number 3. Mike Williams. Congratulations, Mike. Are you guys getting closets full of their shirts? Because I sure am. Now the tough decision is what tomato or pepper faith-based shirt do I want to wear today? Olivia, congratulations, Olivia. That's number 4. And last T-shirt. Roxanne Galata. Congratulations, Roxanne. And then 3 gift cards. And these are $25 gift cards. Very generous. Don't forget they ship internationally now too. Eva, congratulations, Eva. You can email the emails at the bottom of the screen where you guys should claim your shirts from them. Second gift card. Elizabeth Bang, congratulations, Elizabeth. And last but not least, we've got 78 live viewers right now. That's fantastic. Thank you guys all for being here. I know 2 hours is a long time in the middle of the week, but I have so much fun, and I hope you have as much fun as I do. Malachi Jen, yay! Fantastic. Thank you again, Tim and Darylyn, for sponsoring these episodes once a month. And again, thank you all for being here. You are like family. And gosh, isn't it fun to have episodes where we've got the breeders right here with us and everything? It's really an honor to be able to share about these special varieties, share the stories, and see you guys get as excited about them as I am as well. Thanks, Drew. I appreciate it. And congratulations to everyone. SN232, congratulations, everyone. Thank you for doing this. And for all the gift givers, everyone is so generous. They are. We are a special breed. Julie, congrats, everyone. Thank you, Inspired Garden Life. So tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our October Tomato Talk Live, we'll be talking to Bill Yoder. It will be recorded for those of you overseas because you won't want to miss that episode. And from there, my garden tours for Tuesdays are obviously done. I might do one more just so you can see which things are still kicking, but there's not a whole lot that's still kicking. But anyway, have a great weekend. I love you guys dearly. Thanks again for everybody that came to Carlisle. Hope to see more of you next time. And I will see you next week. Peace and love. Get your gratitude on and go grow tomatoes. Bye, everybody. Let's see if my music will work.